Hello and welcome to the Autocar show. Now, Maruti are taking a big step from being a small car manufacturer and have put themselves into the luxury segment in the size and form of the Kizashi. Well, they're positioning it not only as a luxury car but as a sporty saloon that drivers can enjoy as well. Well, when we think of sporty saloon, the first car that comes to our mind is the Skoda Laura. It makes for a great comparison, so we're putting them head to head to see which one we like better. The Kizashi actually looks a generation newer than the Laura. This is probably because with all the Skoda cars sharing a very similar front, the Laura is now beginning to look a little dated and common. However, what the Skoda does have over the Kizashi is build quality, from the way the doors close to just how solid everything feels. Visually though, the Kizashi looks larger and the Laura more compact, and this feeling carries over to the inside. Now, compared to the Laura, when you get inside the Kizashi, you get that feel of a premium car. There's lots of nice touches here, the dual coloring, the splashes of chrome, the chrome highlights around all the knobs and buttons, and of course the fact that it is feature-packed. The Laura doesn't have quite as many features as the Kizashi, and in comparison its dashboard also looks very somber and stark. The quality of materials, however, feel top-notch on the Laura. Space-wise, the Kizashi feels a lot wider, and with the beige interiors you get a much more roomy feeling in the cabin. Now, under the hood, the Kizashi comes with a 2.4-litre engine that churns out a respectable 176 bhp and 22.45 kgm of torque. Maruti claimed this to be a sporty package, but we've always loved the Laura's 1.8 TSI and think it has enough dum to compete. 1.8 against 2.4, you say? Nah. But often figures on paper are proven different on the road. So let's see. The Skoda Laura's engine is really a pleasure to drive. It's punchy, it's torquey, and whenever you put your foot down on the accelerator, there's loads of torque served up to you. So it's really a fun engine to drive. And the good part about it is that it's extremely smooth and refined as well. And even when you rev it hard, it's barely audible. Whether it's traffic or out on the highway, the Laura seems to be comfortable anywhere. It's an effortless car to drive, use the gears well, and you can really have some fun with this engine. This motor loves to rev, and the additional 6th gear makes it really flexible out on an open road. The Laura's 0 to 100 comes up before you know it in a blisteringly quick 8.17 seconds. The Kizashi in comparison feels slower, and the 100 comes up almost a second slower. The Kizashi doesn't have that punchy, torquey acceleration of the Laura and doesn't quite have that throttle response, but the fact remains is it's still pretty quick, gets up to triple digits fast, actually faster than I expected it to, and it's got a strong top end, so it cruises really well. The Kizashi always feels like there's a delay between when you put your foot down and when it responds, and this is why it feels slower than it actually is. The Kizashi has to be revved to get the best out of it, and when you do, the engine becomes quite audible. Now, though Maruti claimed the Kizashi to be a sporty driver's car, they've actually geared it more for economy. And in the end, it's really the Laura that's the more pleasurable engine to drive. It's not only pleasurable performance, but the way it holds itself around corners or is balanced at high speeds that makes you enjoy this car more and more. Another great part about the Skoda Laura is really the handling. The steering is sharp, it's direct, it lets you feel the road coming through to you. And the good part is the body control is so great, you can throw this car around the corners and really have fun with it.
What's also nice is the fact that at straight line speeds, high speeds, it's got good body control and feels very, very solid.
The Kizashi is no slouch around the corners either. The large 215 by 55 tires offer up a lot of grip and the body roll is minimal, making it feel quite stable. But it still just doesn't feel as sure-footed and as agile as the Laura. What the Kizashi does do better though is isolate the road from the passenger.
The ride in the Kizashi is really nice and pliant. It doesn't have that firmness that the Laura has. It absorbs the bumps and potholes, and actually the quicker you go, the better it gets.
What Maruti have got spot on too is the low-speed ride. The Kizashi doesn't get unsettled over bad portions of road and it just absorbs all the bumps and potholes, making the backseat a very comfortable place to be.
The seats are really comfortable in the Kizashi. There's good under-thigh support, the cushioning is good, so you feel very, very comfortable here. Legroom is good and it feels wider than the Laura as well. Now the good part is that in the Laura, the central storage box extends too far into the back and the tunnel is higher. Whereas in the Kizashi, it's not so the third passenger is going to be more comfortable here.
Having made the comparison, you're left with the feeling that the Kizashi is more for the backseat and the Laura for those who love to drive.
Well, if we're talking purely about sporty saloons, then it's really the Skoda Laura that tugs at your heartstrings. It has the more punchy engine, it's got great body control, good handling, and it's really the driver's car. Plus, it's about 3 lakhs less expensive than the Kizashi. But what one has to remember here is that the Kizashi does feel a size bigger and it's got the more premium luxury feel on the inside. It's got the better backseat experience and it's very well equipped. So if you can't quite reach for that Honda Accord or the Skoda Superb, then the Kizashi makes a very capable luxury car that sits plumb in between these and it's fun to drive as well.
Well, there's a World Car of the Year and women motoring writers from around the world not to be left behind have come together to have Women's World Car of the Year. Now, I'm a part of this jury and the 2011 results have just been announced. Here's what they are. With all the other electric and hybrid cars, the Green Car of the Award winner was a surprise, the Audi A1, with the Honda CR-Z coming a close second. The luxury cars won by none other than the new BMW 5 Series, with the Indian-owned Jaguar with its XJ coming up as runner-up. In the sports car category, Aston Martin's Rapide wins the awards, whilst the Audi TT gets the runner-up place. For family car, it's the brand new Volvo S60 that gets the winner spot, with the Kia Sportage coming in second. The prize for the economical car of the year goes to the Citroën DS3, with the Mini 1 diesel coming in as runner-up. And the top honor, the 2011 Women's World Car of the Year award, goes to none other than the new BMW 5 Series.